to Better Living. I'm here now with Beth from Bennett Enterprises. She brought the big boy. It's all good. I said it just takes me back to childhood. I love the big boy. Let's tell people what Bennett Enterprises is.
Well, we're probably a little more than you would ever think. Bennett Enterprises is locally owned and operated. We're a key hospitality leader in Northwest Ohio. We own and operate 13 Frisch's Big Boy restaurants, 6 Ralphie's sports eateries. We have 4 hotels. They fly under the flags of Holiday Inn French Quarter in Perrysburg, the Holiday Inn Express in Perrysburg, Hampton Inn of Maumee, and the Quality Inn and Suites in Monroe, Michigan.
I feel like I've done my part to support you. Let's see, I've stayed at the Holiday Inn, French Quarters, I've gone to Ralphie's. You know, I'm doing what I can for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm trying to help you out. How long has Bennett Enterprises been around?
Well, actually, last Thursday was our official 60th Diamond anniversary. Not many companies can say that, so we've really hit a milestone here. So 60 years, Diamond anniversary.
What does it take for a company to be around for that long?
Oh, I think it takes a lot of support, number one, but especially support from your loyal customers and your dedicated employees. Without them, you are not going to be here 60 years, you know.
That's so true.
Very important.
Now, you guys, your offices are actually in Perrysburg?
Correct. We have a little one-story building right behind the Holiday Inn French Quarter. That's where we operate all of our facilities from. We run our own payroll checks. We have our own accounting department. Marketing is in that building. It's the home base.
Everything. And it's nice to know that everything is being done right here, that you guys are keeping it all, you know, right here. How many people do you guys employ then in our area?
We have over 900 employees, believe it or not, through all of those entities.
That's a ton.
A lot. And we do payroll checks weekly for those employees. We have, believe this or not, and this is in an industry, in the hospitality industry, turnover is very high. So this really says something about our company. We have 20% of those 900 employees have been with our company for over 10 years.
That's a lot.
A lot. And that represents just those 20% with over 10 years is 3,500 years of service and experience. We also have 10 employees with over 40 years. It's basically their lifetime. It may have been the only company that they've worked for.
That's very impressive, because you do think in this kind of industry, you think a lot of, frankly, like high school kids. You know, I mean, you think of young kids that work for a few years or even 6 months and move on. So that's very impressive that you have people with that longevity.
And that's exactly the way it is, too. You've hit the nail on the head, Charity. But some just fall in love with it. You know, most you know, the high schoolers are there to make their living through their college years and such, but some just find it irresistible.
Yeah, they just stick around. Yeah, they just stay. How did Bennett Enterprises get their start? What started the company?
Okay, well, this is kind of an interesting story. I'll try and make it as short as possible. People that know me know that I like to talk, and I can go on and on. But back in the 1940s, Dave Bennett and his older brother Milton Bennett, their father had a restaurant, opened a restaurant on Cherry Street, and it would be on the north side of Cherry Street, just across the street from St. Vincent's Hospital, next to the old Abley Funeral Home, and it was called the Pack-A-Snack. So this was in the early 40s. The boys are in their teenage years, so they're learning the restaurant business through their father. Of course, neither one of them had aspirations of becoming restaurateurs or being in the hospitality business, but in the early 50s, their father unexpectedly passed away. And this left their mom needing their help. They were in college, and so they stopped. And at this point, there was a second Pack-A-Snack opened, and it was on Sylvania Avenue in the Library District. So each of the boys took a restaurant, began to run it. Again, that was early 50s. By 55, they were introduced to the big boy concept. A gentleman by the name of Alex Schoenbaum was coming through this area, talking about the Big Boy franchise. The boys caught wind of it. Ironically, their interview with Alex, or to not interview, but to learn about the concept, was a ride from Toledo, Ohio to Detroit on Alex's way to visit Elias Brothers, what we now know, well, Big Boy International now, it was Elias Brothers. And Alex, you would know Alex Schoenbaum by the name Shoney's. That rings a bell.
Sure.
So he hooked the boys up with the Frisha Cincinnati franchise group, and it was history.
The rest is history.
Yeah, 60 years ago, they signed on the dotted line.
The big boy.
and you got to keep in mind, these boys were only like 26 and 29 years old at the time. I mean, a big stake to take for that young age.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But thank heavens they did, and look where we are now. So where was the very first Big Boy then that they opened?
If you're familiar with Perrysburg, it was in the Country Charm Shopping Center, which would be the corner of Indiana and West South Foundry, over by Ken's shops.
Now, we all know what our memories of Big Boy is. What makes the Frisch's Big Boy unique, do you think?
Well, one of the things that is unique, and I'll get to that in a minute, but let's start from the beginning. When the Big Boy concept began, it wasn't the way you know it now, a restaurant that might hold 200 customers. It was a small walk-in with a counter and a couple of counter seats, but the big draw was the outdoor service. There was canopied
I kind of remember that, yeah.
Okay, and you would drive up and you would pull this little thing, you know, speaker to your window, and you would talk in and you would place your order. The menu was right there on the board. So it became very popular for families to bust in and take home their dinner or eat it in the car, and then teenagers, was very, very cool for teenagers to cruise the lots.
You're going to have to come back because we have to go. Okay. But I want to know more next time. She's going to come back. She will come back next week. We will talk more about the Big Boy. I got lots more questions. We'll be right back on Better Living.
Thanks.